Hello, this is Anomaly, and welcome to another video where we'll be discussing some Mistweaver Monk healing and some commentary on that healing. Today we're going to be discussing Heroic Guarm, which is of course the second boss in Heroic TOV, and happens to be the second video in my Heroic TOV little mini-series here. So like we mentioned earlier on some previous videos, kind of just like to talk through some of the fights, do some critiquing on my healing and anything I can do better or worse, things like that. Before we jump right into the video, I did want to give a quick shout out to everybody over at the Monk Discord. I'll put a link in the description of the video below. But those guys are great, tons of good information, so definitely check them out. Ask any questions, they've helped me immensely over the past couple weeks. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. So today we're kind of talking about Heroic Guarm. Two-phase encounter. Phase one pretty straightforward, and we'll talk through it, with the second phase being just a lot of raid damage where you use some cooldowns. This is essentially a DPS race, so you need to kind of kill the boss before the boss kills you. So a couple main abilities you'll see pop up here almost right away. Number one, you'll notice everyone is kind of not in front of the boss. He does do like a 20-yard AoE in a cone, which is bad. It'll kill you. And then the other thing he does is that big ability that just went off, the breaths. Basically, we assign people certain colors at the start of the fight. So just you always want to soak that color. So anytime the breaths come out, they basically come out twice, and then they'll switch phases, and then we'll go back to phase one. Just make sure you can get to that breath. And the other thing you'll see, particularly on the raid frames now, I see some shadow debuffs. He does 3 different colored breaths, or sorry, licks that come out that go on a specific person, then spread to anybody within a couple yards. So you kind of want to stay loosely spread in the back here, and then so you don't get those debuffs on too many people. So right now, this is phase 2, and basically he kind of runs around the outside of the room, picks a random corner, and then just starts running one full circle. So you kind of want to use your cooldowns here. So there comes out my revival. I also dropped Chi right before the start of it. Just to get I just kind of cover a lot of the raid cooldowns. I didn't use Mana Tea. The reason being is the phases are slightly less than a minute and a half apart. So I wanted to make sure I had Mana Tea for the second phase 2, since we normally only get 2 phase 2s in our encounter. So now we're back in phase 1, and as you can see, it's a ton of action. Boss already at 50% and kind of clicking back and forth. There, the Dispel debuff, that was the Frost Lick. You want to dispel that if it goes on anybody. The purple, the Shadow Lick, is kind of just a healing absorb debuff. Absorbs all healing up to a certain amount. So you basically kind of just have to heal them through it, top them off pretty quickly. Other than that, what you'll notice is I am kind of casting a lot of Vivifies without either TFT or UT procs up. It's really, really bad, so you kind of need to watch that. The other thing is I'm not really using Essence Font, I think, as well as I could be. I could definitely get some more Essence Font out, particularly if I was probably staying a little bit close to our melee group, since we do have some more melee than range, at least in this heroic kill. This was during one of like the DDoS issues on a Tuesday that Blizzard went through, so we had a lot less people online. Ended up just doing some heroics. So there you see that's the second phase 2. You see I dropped Mana Tea, spammed out a bunch of Essence Fonts, so I think I did pretty well. And I'm sitting pretty high from a mana perspective, so I can definitely kind of more aggressively use Essence Font here. I also notice I keep Chi Burst on cooldown for a while. Probably should get that out along with Shayloons. Finally get that out. So again, can do better about just using my cooldowns, making sure they're out as much as possible. But other than that, I mean, that's the fight. It's pretty quick, pretty simple, at least from a mechanics perspective. It's just kind of making sure you have the healing and you're ready, because it's very, very fast paced. I think for us, DPS is an issue. Potentially it's an issue in your raids if you go longer than I think 4 or 5, or I think it's 5-minute solid in rage, maybe 4. So just want to make sure you're quick on the draw. Heal people up that have it. I do recommend potentially using Enveloping Mists on some of the folks with the Shadow debuff, particularly if you're in a kind of a smaller raid size, don't have as many healers, just to kind of get them topped off and get that debuff off as soon as possible. So here you go, this is the final phase 2 that we get. Do not have a ton of cooldowns available. As you can see, Revival is not even up for the first one yet, and Chi-Chi's just coming off cooldown in a couple seconds, so at this point it's kind of just use as much mana as you can to keep people alive, because the boss should be dead here shortly coming out of this. Yeah, other than that, I mean, that is the basics of the fight, so I don't have too much else to say, other than, we killed it, great job. Definitely want to thank everybody for tuning in, listening. As always, if you have any suggestions, anything I can do better, worse, anything you like, dislike, please leave those in the comments below. Try and read everything I can. And this video, I think, is probably going to come out right after Christmas. So hopefully you guys had a great Christmas and have a happy New Year. And again, thank you very much for watching, and we'll talk to you later.